Well, in this video, I'm going to make this little Christmas related theme. It's a Steve Good pattern. I don't know if he put it up today or yesterday, but I first saw it today and I downloaded it. Here it is. I'm late on Thursday, and I hadn't got a video ready for this week. I was working on one, just about had it ready, and I totally messed it up. That's another story I'll tell you about when I go fix it and finish it. It was a Christmas themed also, but I just really messed it up and had it finished, and my wife pointed out what I did. So we'll talk about it in that video when I get there. So I went and looked this one up. I wanted to get one out by tomorrow anyway. And this has got a 4-layer piece. It's a Christmas tree based thing. That's the back. And you got a little house. And you got a snowman. And then you got this boy and the dog. Now, as he says on this one that I've got cut out and mounted, it's 1/2 inch thick. It's a recommendation. Use the wood that looks good to you. So I'm going with 1/4 inch. I'm going to call it 1/4 inch. It's some of it's a little thicker, some of it's a little thinner. They're not standard thicknesses. But I'm doing this because I got a lot of that extra stuff I need to use up. Plus, using wood that thin, I think I can cut all 4 pieces at the same time on the outside, so they'll all match real well. I won't have to do near as much sanding and working to get them to smooth out and look good. I've tried this before. It hasn't always worked. Sometimes your blade wants to curve in the middle or whatever, but I'm going to go with a large blade and tighten it as much as I can and move very slowly. And that'll save a lot of cutting. And then I'll take this top one, I'll leave it as is. I'll cut that pattern out, and I'll take the other 3 pieces and mount these other patterns on them. And I'm not sure I'm going to make that work. I may be messing up again. But we'll see as I move forward. But I'll use up this material, and I'll make that one cut for all the outsides, hopefully. So let me get over to the saw and get a blade in it. And this first thing I'm going to cut is the outside of this, and then I'll separate those pieces and move forward. I've got a number 7 in there. Didn't want to get too much larger. It's very aggressive cutting a big piece like this. Sometimes hard to hold down on the table. It can get very jerky if you get a thick piece with big teeth. So this is biggest I want to go with the teeth on this. And doesn't always do that, but sometimes giving some problems. So I think it'll cut this 1 inch. That's what it totals up to, 1 inch. I think it'll cut it okay. So here we go, we'll find out. Well, that appeared to go very well. Everything came out smooth and they all matched very nicely. The biggest challenge now will be getting the patterns to line up on those pieces, but I think I can do that. I just used the top part of this pattern because this is the only thing that needs to be cut. So I simplified it. Do it. Next, still got the number 7 blade in. So that'll be just a short, quick cut, and then I'll mount the next pattern. Well, so far so good. It's working out real well. We're able to get the patterns to line up. Just have to be careful and make sure you get them right. And I'm just putting the pattern on that I need for that particular cut. Whatever stays solid, I don't put the rest of that pattern on. So I'm still staying with the number 7 for now. As I move forward to the next 2, I may have to go down to a 5. But these cuts are large enough. I think the 7 will work fine. So far so good. It's going really well. Patterns are matching up well. I cut back, dropped back to a number 5 blade. One thing I'm getting in smaller areas, and this wood is fairly soft. I think it's a hard wood, but it's softer. And that 7's a little bit aggressive. You get in a tight spot trying to make a turn. So I needed to get something a little smaller of these holes that I cut here anyway. So here we're going to get the snowman. This is the last pattern I have to remount. The other pattern's already mounted. I get this one done, and just a little bit of cutting, I'll be ready to see if I can put it together. I've got it all cut out, and it all matches up very nicely. I'm pretty well pleased with it. I've stained every other layer. This is the very back. I just stained the area that's going to show through that. Stained the back side of it and the edges. And then I stained the outer layer. No, it's not every other layer, inner and outer layer. Kind of wanted, wife wanted, I was showing it to her, she thought the boy and the dog should stand out from the snowman a little better. So I didn't want to stain the snowman. Snow's not supposed to be brown or black. So anyway, it all matches up pretty nice. I've done a little bit of sanding and cleaning on it. Now I'm going to start layering it up. I'm just going to go from the bottom and come up. I think it's going to be okay because everything seems to really line up well. And should be just a matter of getting the glue and clamping it down a layer at a time. So let me get started on that. Well, there's the finished project. Not unhappy with it, but in retrospect, as my wife pointed out, when I finished it, if I'd made the house dark in the back light, then it would look like there would have been lights in the house, and then you'd had every other layer a different color. But that's not what I did. When I first saw it, I just saw the background as dark. I always like a dark background, generally, if I've got a light front. So, but anyway, it's the boy and the dog stands out. You can see them separate from the snowman, and that's kind of what I was going for, where snowman kind of blends in with the house right now. But anyway, it is what it is, and I'm not unhappy with it. It's a nice little project. It was kind of fun to do. It lined up very nicely. I cut all those at once, and it came out very nicely. I didn't have a lot of extra sanding or shaving to do to get it to fit together. So if you like that, hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to get into more and more Christmas as we move closer. Weather's getting bad outside. It's hard for me to do wind spinners right now. So like I say, I had another project started and I messed it up, but I will get back to that next week. Hopefully I'll finish that and put it up. But I'll be looking for some more Christmas stuff, and as we're getting here, I'm a week from Thanksgiving as I film this. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.